Greetings, my loved ones, and welcome to Affirm Peace, where we are a community, a journal of a life, where everyone's story is meaningful. I am your hostess, Rebirth, aka Tim B, and we are on another Youth Monday. I love it so much, you have no idea. So, you know, before we get into all the questions and the interviewing and everything, we have to do our mental health check-in questions first. We're just going to listen to them, start thinking about them. You can journal them to yourself. You can DM me. Let's talk about it. This is a safe space for us to grow and glow and flow together. So that way we can get that mental clarity for ourselves. So, question one. How are you feeling today? Is there anything bothering you from yesterday that is still harboring and messing with you today? Question two, what thoughts are running through your mind? Question three, how does your body feel? Question four, who or what do you need to support your mental health today? And like I said, go ahead and jot them down and do what you will with them because they are yours for your mental health. You don't even have to tell anybody. It's just for you to go through your process of life to make it flow easier. So, without further ado, I'm going to have my special youth guest introduce herself.
Everybody, my name is Macie Daniels. I am a 11th grader at Washington High School, and I like blue. but anything besides that, for my future, I really want to become a early childhood educator. I want to teach kindergarten or first grade. That's my limit, is first grade. One reason I really do want to teach like first grade or kindergarten is because I feel like that's when you can make the most impact on students' lives, because that's when younger students decide if they want to keep coming to school or not, if they enjoy school, if they're willing to learn and listen and bloom in school. So
Most,
yeah.
most
Um.
definitely. I love that. What were you about to say?
Oh, also, I live with my mom and my two brothers, and I'm in a lot of programs. I'm really busy at times.
Yep, we're
And
about to get into that. Trust and believe me. So, my first question for you. You wrote in your job. Well, actually, how I met Macie is a part of Upward Bound program. I know y'all have heard me explain that. If this is not your first show, you've heard me talk about Upward Bound a lot to a lot of our youth that have been interviewed on here. Either they're in it in their experience, or I'm encouraging them to be a part of it because I think it's an awesome program. So that's where I met Macie. We got to talking, and I'm like, "Do you want to be on the show?" And Macie was like, "Yeah, I want to be on the show." So, and here we are. But she has a heart for stewardship, and one of my questions, well, my first question for you is, what is stewardship to you? Everybody has their different definitions for stewardship and volunteering and things of that nature. So, what is stewardship to you?
I feel like to me, it's just about helping people. It's like you never know what others are going through, and just because like you can tell that somebody is going through a rough time or a rough patch in their life without even having to speak to them. So, or you can just not tell, and you can just be. It's all in the heart. It's all like if you really want to help people, you're gonna take that time out to make a difference and to sit down and learn what other people want, not just what you think will benefit from them. So that's my definition, pretty much.
Okay, I love that. Yes, you most definitely can tell, especially if you're in tune with yourself and you have that awareness. You can always tell when someone else is going through some type of hardship that they really don't want to voice to anyone, but be aware of their demeanor or how they act towards you previously, or if you've never even met the person before, you can always tell when somebody's down and figure out how you can help them in the way they want to be helped, not the way you want to help them, because there's a lot of difference in that, because if you try to help them in the way that you want to help them and they can reject it and get disgruntled, and you got a whole nother situation going
Yeah.
on. Okay, I love that. Tell me about your programs and the clubs you were in.
Oh, I'm in
You
a
got to
lot.
pull a list out for me.
No, I think I have all of them on top of my head. I just joined one too for the summer.
Okay. Okay.
Um, I'm gonna start from my favorite to my so-so. They're all
Okay.
my favorite, but like I have tops, you know.
Yes, I
Um,
understand.
One of my favorite programs I'm in is probably gonna be Upward Bound because I feel like they still work with you. Because when I first joined Upward Bound, we had a rough patch going there. My favorite thing about Upward Bound is how they're actually preparing you for college. That's their main focus. It's a college preparation program. And as me wanting to become a teacher, that's something that I really like. Also, that it's not just, oh, we're gonna do college stuff, college stuff, college stuff, college stuff, but it's also more of mental health. They really do care about your mental health. They care about your personal life, and they also really do care about your school life. They have tutors. They have people that you can talk to. They have trips for some students because trips aren't cheap. They're really
Right.
not, and they're educational trips. And they're not just educational. They're also fun trips that you can go out and explore. And I really do like this program because it helps low income families and students to feel included more, like more included and more like I got this, I can do this, I'm the I got this.
Yeah.
um my next program I really enjoy is called uh, it's called Learning Club. Yes, Learning Club. Learning Club is a paid internship that you go on Mondays, and it's for the KCK area. Um, you go tour younger students, so you're their one-on-one tutor, and you help them with English, reading, math, whatever they need. And they also have a game time at the end where you get to have that relational build that relational capacity with those students, as well as those students not only get toured by um, younger maturing students, but also they get tutored by adults to help them in actual subjects, like more like more difficult subjects. And they also go through, I think it's from kindergarten to eighth or ninth grade, I'm pretty sure. For the adult tutors, I would tutor only up to eighth grade
Gotcha.
because they want to still have that gap in between, because
Mm-hmm.
freshmen can also come and tutor. But the location I'm put at, we don't really have eighth graders or seventh graders, or but we had one sixth grader for a good amount of time. But I just feel like as they get older, they're more wanting the adult help
Gotcha.
because like now they know that
Right.
they just kind of like that. But that's another one of my favorite programs. And again, it all comes back to just helping people.
Yeah.
Even like I just love helping people because it's like I didn't always have that help that I wanted or needed, but I can't blame anybody else because that's just who I was. I just didn't really like help, but I love seeing other children come in and actually want help and like want to do better.
That's
So that's
awesome.
one thing. The next program I'm in it's another internship. It's with the state of Kansas. It's a teaching internship. It's through the school.
Okay.
So in the afternoon, I go to John F. Kennedy and I work with kindergartners. And with these kindergartners, sometimes I work. I'm in a mixed class, so like it's with some behavioral students and some non-behavioral students. So I really love building that relational capacity with the behavioral students because I was once like them when I was younger. I was mad and angry and things like that. So it just kind of comes natural, and I kind of know when to just like say, hey, okay, you can have your space. And I know a lot of adults and other children can still struggle with that because a lot of other students can a lot of other students can still struggle with that because and adults as well can struggle with the simple fact of like some students don't want you all up in their bubble when they're upset or angry or sad. So I think that that I think that fits me because I was that type of person, and I know when to just be like, okay, I'll give you a couple seconds.
Yeah.
You can calm down. Um, but yeah, my next my next program, as I stated, I am in a lot of programs.
Hmm.
Um, this is called Pro X. This is something I'm trying this year. It's also another paid internship,
Okay.
and you get a pretty big stipend for the end of this for 4 weeks of working. What else? Oh, in that program, since I just started, I went to the hiring fair today, and you have to compete with a lot of students because it's from Kansas City and Missouri students, high school students, and you go to the job fair and you have to compete. There's a lot of employers, and you have to compete. I know I said compete a lot, but you have to compete.
Hmm.
And thankfully, I did get hired today. I know, like one of my other friends that went to, they did it. Unfortunately, didn't get hired, but so that's something I'm excited. The one I got hired for is called um, I forgot the name, but it's basically like it's like a day camp with literature. So like
Hmm.
the students come and they work on reading and writing and making books and things like that. It's really hype. I haven't got too much information about that one yet, so I
Okay.
would have to come. I would have to, follow up on that. And I have different organizations I'm in. Like I'm in junior ROTC. I'm the president of the restorative justice team and things like that. So that's all for that
Okay.
question.
That is a lot, and I appreciate you getting yourself involved, especially with it comes to the younger students and those internships because you want to be in the educational system, and I truly appreciate that you're already taking that path for your journey. So that's something super wonderful, especially Learning Club. I think Learning Club is really a really dope program because I remember when Caleb was in it, but conflicts with sports and things didn't allow him to complete it the way it needed to be completed. But I thought Learning Club was really great because you get to interact with those younger students, and they get to see somewhat of a role model within the upper grades and things of that nature. So what grade are you tutoring in Learning Club?
I kind of like to switch it up because
Okay.
I like to see the different ages, but I like to stay with kindergarten and between kindergarten and third grade
Okay.
because that's where I feel the strongest at. Because
Mm-hmm.
with third grade, it's like they're getting more independent, so I don't have to do as much, but they'll still look for those fact checks and stuff like that. And with
Uh,
kindergarten, it's just kindergarten.
yeah. I believe research says that third grade is when they determine whether the student is going to eventually stay within school or end up being a dropout. So
Mm.
yeah, that's where that falls in, especially if they are in their grade level as far as reading and arithmetic goes and things of that nature, and what is the dynamic within home and school and all of that. So when you hit that third grade, your sponge is really not there anymore. You know how they say you're a sponge within like by the time before you hit like 6 or 7. Oh, I can't believe I just said that. Yes, you're a sponge before you hit that age frame, and once you hit third grade, that's when they can tell if you're going to be successful within schooling or not, which is truly sad that they do that, and it's more tailored towards. I've seen that study more tailored towards the African American or black, however you want to categorize it, the black young men or the black fellas within this world. So that's another one. We can go on a tangent with that, but we're not going to do this. This is about Macy. So, how do you truly feel about USD 500?
How do I truly feel about USD 500?
Yes.
Um, this is a big question. I
It's
like
a
the
safe
school.
space. It's a safe space.
I like my school district.
Okay.
I, however, don't always agree with my school district.
Mm-hmm.
I think having I noticed, well, I known, and I had went to the meetings, well, some of the meetings, because I get invites from the district office to attend their meetings. Um, I just realized that we didn't really have a plan. Our school district didn't really have that step by step plan. They had those rubrics, like of what they
Mm-hmm.
want to accomplish, but they didn't have a plan to get to there.
Mm-hmm.
So when I had went to this strategic planning meeting, is what it's called. We had basically sat there and wrote out like this is how it needs to get done and like the steps that we're gonna do, an action plan. There you go. That's
Right.
the word, the action plan. Um, Besides that, I feel like it's a good school district. I feel like they're trying their best, but not every school district is gonna be top 10, top tier.
Right.
I do see the improvements that they're trying to make slowly, but I also see the flaws that they're missing.
Mm.
I do know for a fact that if you're changing something in a high school that you don't step in for at least twice a month or 3 to 4 times a month, more 3 to 4 times a month, I feel like you shouldn't be able to change something that you don't see on a day
Right.
to day basis.
Most definitely.
Because I know, well, I've experienced and saw how the upper people in central office
Mm-hmm.
um, throw in these all these rules and things like that that they want to accomplish to make to less the skipping and things like that, but they don't be in the schools and they don't see how some small changes can make a big difference in the school day. They
Mm-hmm.
don't really see how um, having an assembly schedule for something that could have been done in the classroom and during FA time makes
Mm-hmm.
more fights during the school day. They don't
Mm-hmm.
see how hard it is to get students to get in class on time because they're not the ones that's sitting up there actively doing it at
Right.
that time. Even though they could have been teachers or principals or things like that, I still don't feel like that they see how hard it is nowadays, or
Right.
not even nowadays, just in general, because the amount of people that I see in the hallway after the bell rings is ridiculous.
I'm sure.
And the only reason I know that there's a lot of people in the hallway is because at the end of the day, especially at the end of the day, that's when a lot of people like to skip more. But
Mm-hmm.
the only reason I know is because I leave the building and I can see all the students.
Gotcha.
And the tardies in our school district is it's really sad. So I'm hopefully that they can find another action plan to get that up, and
Yeah.
maybe they can find another action plan to start opening the bathrooms more. But of
Yeah.
course, there's still those flaws that still come into play because
Mm-hmm.
there's reasons why the bathrooms are locked. But other than that, and academically, I feel like our school district isn't that bad. I
Yeah.
feel like of course, we could step up a little bit, but I feel like it's not that bad. I mean, I've been here for almost like I've been here for 11 years, I think, because I think you graduate in 12. Yeah, I've been here for
Mm-hmm.
11 years, so I mean, I would say I'm pretty smart.
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, that's
But you
how I feel.
apply you apply yourself, and you seem
Yes.
like you're extremely self-motivated. So a lot of students don't have those characteristics. So do you feel that, or do you think, however you want to put it, that there should be more activity from the school board and the superintendent and those individuals in headquarters to take time out to come to the schools within at least maybe 2 to 4 times out of the month so they can actually research the dynamic and see how everything flows and be able to create a better action plan. And I think it should be something that they could possibly do, like maybe like per school. You take that time to actually tailor an action plan for each school, but then have a broader aspect for all of them together. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
I
Are you
definitely agree.
okay? Go
I
ahead.
definitely agree with that. That's that's my main point. It's
Yeah.
like I mentioned, you can't. I feel like you can't make decisions based on places you don't go.
Right. Most definitely.
So that's like me saying, "Oh, I've never been to Illinois, and I think Illinois is the worst place on earth." Like you've
Exactly.
never been there and experienced that, but you only heard what other people say.
Right.
But
Interesting.
I do understand that the people above is really busy. So I think instead of it being probably them to hire somebody that can take that time and go into the schools and talk with the principals and see what's going on,
Most
or a little
definitely.
team. Hmm.
Exactly. Something like a school district community liaison type deal. Yes, I like that. So we talked before about one program that you were in, Enough is Enough. Would you like to explain more of what that is and what your role in that was?
This is last year's shirt.
Okay.
It says violently be yourself and then hashtag enough is enough.
Okay.
Um, enough is enough is an act against gun violence, and it's an act against gun violence, drug usage, and things like that. Did I say that right? Yeah, I think I said it right.
Yeah.
Um, it also deals with mental health and things like that. So it deals with gun violence, drug use, addiction, mental health. And that's basically what we do. We have people from our community come in. Oh, and suicide. That's what I was missing.
Okay.
Suicide. Yes, suicide. So we have people from our community come in. We did this not that long ago. It was an open discussion. And
Mm-hmm.
we talked about how it impacts our community and like ways that we can fix this because enough is enough.
Right.
That's the big thing. Enough is enough. At Washington, our motto for enough is enough is hear the war for change. So with that, the story behind that is like when we say hear the war for change, is hear the cry out for change.
Right.
Hear the complaints for change. Hear the difference, see the difference that you need to see for the change. And another thing is we're having a block party pretty soon for the community engagement to have the community and talk about what's been going on and how we can find ways to fix that. Um, with the community block party, it's open to anybody, and there we're still planning it. It's on May Day though. That's the
Okay.
confirmed date is May Day, and it's at Washington High School, as I
Okay.
mentioned, and the date and the time is from 3 to 6.
Okay.
So if you guys want to come out and show some support, feel free.
Yeah.
Also, my role in Enough is Enough, we don't really have roles.
Okay.
We feel like it's important to for everybody to be heard, be seen. Their opinions matter. Everybody's opinions matter, and things like that. So it's more of like a committee that sits in on Fridays, and we talk about ways that we can change it. We do restorative justice circles
Okay.
to try to help that tension between students, and that's also part of the RJ the student restorative justice team's job. But
Okay.
we focus on those type of things, and yeah. But back, sorry, I got a little sidetracked.
No, you're
Yeah, we don't have roles in this type of in Enough is Enough. We just have people that are willing to step up. That's what we
yeah.
call it.
That's
So,
good.
like for speakers at the open end conversation, we had to have some speakers go up and introduce the program and tell them what it's all about, introduce our guest speakers and things like that. And some students just aren't comfortable with public speaking. I am, but some students aren't. So we have other jobs behind the scenes, like um, ordering ordering decorations, setting up the block party. It's only a block party for now. We don't really like the term block party because it's just some people had said it. They think of other things when it's called a block party. So we're trying to find a name to change it, but for now it's called a block party.
Okay.
Um, and yeah, that's just kind of pretty much what Enough is Enough is. And this is actually a school district act and movement because in 2018, I believe, four student like a lot of students was like shot and killed or they committed suicide, and that's what made them want to do enough is enough. And this year and last year 2025 at Washington, we in our school district we had some tragedies and deaths and things like that. So that's why we think this is really important. The team of Enough is Enough consists of 12 to 14 students and two sponsors, which could be two teachers, a teacher and the librarian, something like that. And yeah, I feel like it's really great, and I love to see everybody come and actually be dedicated to make the change.
That is awesome. I love that. And does it go on all year round? Do y'all do any work
Yes.
in the summertime?
Unfortunately, we do not because we're not in school. I wish we
Yeah.
could. We can work up to that maybe.
Yeah, that would be
But
awesome.
yes.
Okay, do you believe your school could be safer, or do you feel it is a good approach to have the police department within the schools?
I feel like my school is pretty safe. I mean, I that's just my personal opinion.
Yeah,
But I feel like having the police there can make a little bit intimidating. But at the same time, with the amount of things that happen in the schools on a day-to-day basis, sorry, is really sad. So I
yeah,
feel like having those policemen there is like just a barrier. But I also feel like when those policemen are having a hard time catching everything, is also like what's going on.
yeah,
Um, I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain because I feel like we need to try to find another way to get out the vapes and things
yeah.
from like the backpacks and things like that. Because we
Hmm.
have a whole metal detector, but I'm still not understanding why I go to the bathroom and Sarah and her friend group. I'm just saying Sarah. She's not a real person. I know.
I understand.
Sarah, I'm sorry, but I don't understand why Sarah and her friend group is in there hotboxing the bathroom. It's really
Right.
sad.
And is that
And
part of the reason why the bathrooms stay locked?
yes, it really is.
Yeah, that's
And the amount
unfortunate.
of weed that some students bring to school to sell is actually really sad.
Yeah,
And so I feel like having those police there are doing something and stopping the fights when they happen. So I feel like they are doing something, but I feel like it could be a lot more safer if we just could find a way. There's one simple way that we can get something to detect those type of things.
yeah. You would
Because I
think
know
the metal detectors and the scanners would detect that, so then that would bring bring you to what is the security guard that is running these metal detectors and the scanners when you take your put your bag through the scanner, are they really paying attention to what's going on, or are they just standing there to get a paycheck?
holding the button.
Exactly.
Right. Sometimes
Exactly.
I'm not trying to dog anybody out, but sometimes when I go through metal detectors, um, they'll just be pressing the button and
Yeah,
just
just let you
next.
go.
Right. And then I've
And that
heard
defeats the purpose.
it really does. It really, really does. Because it's I don't know, it's just really sad. Just talking about it just makes me like really sad because it's like all these kids are up here um just smoking and vaping their life away and get an
Yeah,
attitude when they get told to stop and to go
yeah,
back to class and to get out the bathroom. But then I also find it challenging and like kind of upsetting that our staff members don't have a way to stop it
yeah,
because it's like maybe like do we need to go manually through everybody's backpacks or something? I They do say that they do searches when they get notified of something,
yeah.
but I also feel like who's really notifying you and things like that. I
No,
also say one thing about Washington is to have a safe school, you have to make everybody feel safe, right? But when you're only caring about the students who are not doing so well in school, and not giving the same type of love to the students that are trying in school and are doing what they're supposed to be doing, and when they ask for a break to leave the classroom to just go take a little walk, it's always a no and just get back to work.
Yeah.
It's not a sure, because you we know that you can do the right thing when nobody's watching.
Yeah.
But versus as if it was a behavioral student asking or doing whatever, they can go sit outside their classrooms. They can go sit in a classroom, just stay there, them like whenever they please. And it's like, I feel like it's really unfair to students who need like a mental break, because it's always, well, nope, you got to go back to class,
Hmm.
versus, oh, okay, take this time because we still want you to be academically successful and
Hmm.
feel safe and have that in that right mental mindset.
So you feel the favoritism is more towards the students that have the behavioral issues because they don't. Do you feel that the teacher doesn't want them to continue to disrupt the class, and that's why they're able to get that mental health break?
Um, yes and no, because I also know that a lot of the students that are walking out and not slamming, walking out and doing whatever they please, aren't all necessary behavioral students, but they just know that if they make a scene, they can get away with it.
Mm.
Because the consequences that they have at Washington is ISS. And
Mm-hmm.
ISS, you can technically be on your phone and get away with it. You can be on your computer, watch YouTube, and do whatever. You just have to sit there and be quiet, and that's not doing anything. And you keep giving the same discipline action to the same student who doesn't care about it. We need to
Right.
find the action step is, oh, can you not do that? Oh, ISS, suspended.
And then
That's
do they understand what's going on in ISS? Why is there no disciplinary actions going on in ISS? That's just like you're giving them free time if that's what's
it. Really
occurring in
is.
ISS.
It really is. It's just say, oh, you got ISS, okay. It's
Interesting.
it's really just a pat on the back and go back to class.
Yeah.
Because when people skip, they start doing that. But skipping isn't doing nothing either, because again, you're just sitting on your computer.
Exactly. Whew. Okay. All right. Well, what is the what is how do you feel about the student to teacher dynamic at Washington?
The ratio.
How do you the ratio and how the relationship aspect of the dynamic at Washington?
Um, I feel like I have a good relationship with one of my teachers. That's also because she had I had her I'm completing my pathway this year. Let me just put it like that.
Okay.
Um, so I built a relationship because she teaches the whole pathway, because there's not really another teacher to teach the teaching and training pathway.
Yeah.
Um, the student ratio is pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie,
Yeah.
especially in my fifth hour, and that's math, algebra two. And I feel like in math and English should be the ratio should be significantly not as high as if you was going in a elective class like art
Yeah.
or something,
Okay.
because those are the main subjects that you want students to succeed in. And if you have
Mm-hmm.
a lot of students in one classroom, you're they're not all the students are going to pick up the material. Like for me in my math class, I've been having to teach. I've been taking notes, but I would have to come and like teach myself kind of, because there's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of students in my class, and it makes me kind of like overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to raise my hand and ask questions, because I don't want to be like, oh, are you stupid or something? When it's really just like, I just really don't know how to do this problem. So things like that, I feel like that's just kind of messes with
Well,
a
for
lot of
one
students.
thing, don't ever feel like your question is a stupid question or you feel that they're going to call you stupid. You ask your question so you can get your answer because that's their job to answer your question regardless whether they feel it's stupid or not. So don't ever do that to yourself. Don't ever shortchange yourself for somebody disrupting or somebody or how you think that somebody is going to portray whatever it is that you're doing. Don't ever feel that about yourself. You always ask your questions because you need that knowledge just as much as the next person. And even if they get in a space to where they feel that they are not going to answer your question, then that's when you take it higher, or you ask them, well, then can we stay after class so you can assist me because I'm not understanding how you're teaching me. So I need somebody to teach me this because I want to succeed. So
Right.
it's your job to help me succeed in what I need to succeed in. So don't ever stop yourself from answering your questions. For real. Okay?
Okay.
Sorry. That kind of ruffled me. It triggered some things because I used to be like that when I was younger, when I was in elementary and everything. I would sit there and feel like I had to do everything myself, and them telling me one time I was supposed to be able to know what it is that I needed to do. So I would sit there and not ask my teacher any questions and cry at my table because I couldn't get it right because I was afraid to ask a question because I felt that I was supposed to get it right the first time that they told me. So that hit a trigger for me. So sorry.
I feel that. I feel that. Oh no, you're okay. I feel that a lot. It's just because like math is one of my hardest subjects that to
Yeah.
understand, and I have to with the math teachers. I have to like. It's like you got to teach me like a baby, and it's like it's sad, but it's also like if you want me to really understand your material, it's like you have to tell me the steps, and then you have to watch me. Then I have to do the steps, and then like that's how I learn. It's not okay. We're gonna do the question, and then you guys just fill in the blank and write it down. That's not teaching me anything.
Right. And they should
So
appreciate that you know the way that you need to learn. You know how you learn. So they should truly appreciate that because every student doesn't learn the same. And the fact that you know that you needed to be broken down like that, that teacher should appreciate that and actually come to you and ask you, "Hey, Mason, did you get the material that I just explained to everybody?" And y'all figured out, especially after they explained it, everybody's doing their work, and then they can come up to you and or you can raise your hand and let them know, hey, I did not get that. You need to break this down in ABC terms, sweetie. So oh the goodness, these teachers. Okay, so I'm going to get oh you know what? No, let's go to this one. So is your mother involved in your academic ventures?
um, meaning like
Just whatever. Like
is she involved in my school? Like,
yeah, your schooling.
oh, yes. She checks my grades every once in a
Good.
while, but she doesn't really have to because I'll come show her because I'm very proud of my grades.
I know that's right. Come on now.
Because in ninth grade, I was like, but now I'm like,
Yes, I
so
love that.
so normally she doesn't have to check them because I'll just come show her.
Good. That's good. And she knows that you're going to come show her. So that's a wonderful relationship that you all have. I appreciate that. I'm going to go back to your giving and your stewardship. What's your favorite way to give back and why?
Whew. My favorite way to give back is to give out things for free.
To give out what?
Free things, things that
Okay.
people need for free.
Okay.
Whether that's money, like a gift card that they can go use to buy some stuff. And I also like the reason. Oh, let me just talk about gift cards real fast, real fast. The reason why I would like to give out gift cards because I have given out gift cards before with the church I go to.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the reason why I like to give out gift cards is because to families is
Okay.
because I don't want to be all up in their business on what they need and what they don't need. And
Oh
it
yeah.
just kind of gives them, like, if especially if you're a mom with small children, it just kind of gives you that, like, oh yes, I'm buying this with the money that I received.
Right.
My kids aren't. We're not going to like this, like I don't know. We're not like I don't know. I just feel like oh, we're not going to this food drive to go get food now because we had got like for little kids. It's like yeah, mommy can afford food.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Um, My other way to give back is emotional, is because with emotional, like I said, I when I was growing up, I was an angry person. I didn't
Yeah.
always want to talk to somebody or do anything with anybody because a lot of things. So emotional is definitely one to give back. Is to just sit there and listen. Don't
Yeah.
ask if ands or buts. Don't ask, well, if you did this differently, well, then that probably wouldn't have happened. So just sit down and listen and say, oh, okay. And then if they want that feedback, if you can say, hey, do you want some feedback of what we could have done next time? Then yes, give that to them. But if they're not open to that in that moment, to just say, okay, maybe give them a hug. So
Right.
that's one thing I really like to give back. Another thing is, I had done a resource closet in my school called Cat's Closet.
Okay.
What was it? Oh, so it's just a resource room with clothes, food, toiletries, and all that,
Mm-hmm.
jewelry, and just everyday things and school supplies. And we helped a lot of families, so again, necessarily giving back free things. Um, Time is one thing I like to give back to my community, is
Mm-hmm.
because I know a lot of students would rather sleep in on Saturdays, but me, I would like rather, if I have the ride and if I have the ride there, I would rather go out and help any way I can.
There you go. I love it. All right. What is peace for you?
Peace, like my peace, like what I like to do to like bring myself peace.
Yes.
Um, I like to pretty much just relax. Sometimes I don't want to talk to nobody. Sometimes
Yeah.
I just want to decompress myself. And peace is not having somebody in your ear or around you in your bubble or in your circle of people that's constantly bringing you down, that's constantly telling you, oh, if you would have done this, this would have probably happened. If you would have done this, this would have happened. Instead of having somebody who's like, oh, okay, so you did this and this happened, that's okay, there's still other opportunities out there for you.
Right.
Oh, so my definition of peace is people I'm around, things I do for myself,
Mm-hmm.
and, and things like, and yeah, that's my two.
Okay.
People around me and things I do for myself.
Are you at peace with yourself?
Am I at peace with myself? Sometimes I'm not gonna. Just to be completely honest, I don't think I'm always at peace with myself,
Yeah.
because sometimes it's like I'm just not. Sometimes I'm just not at peace.
Okay. And that's totally okay. All right. How do you affirm your peace?
You like explain that a little more.
So, how do you stand firm and say, for instance, someone is trying to come and disrupt your peace? How do you stand firm and let them know, or not even let them know? How do you stay in peace within yourself while somebody is trying to come and disrupt that peace?
Mm, Sometimes I just tell them how it is. I'm like, mm, I'm just gonna give like a mini scenario. Say I'm chilling with one of my friends, and another one of my friends come up and say, "Oh, you're always hanging out with her. You must not like me anymore." And I don't want to be your friend because you're always hanging out with them, and even though you just hung out with them, but say like that friend doesn't like your other friend, and like that's the reason they're doing it. One thing I would do is I would just tell them, like, since this happened to me before, I would say I still do care about both of you guys, but I'm not gonna pick and choose. That's one
Right.
thing I have to. Like that was one of the hardest things in middle school, is because we had a lot of, oh, if you're her friend, you can't be my friend type situations, and I had to figure that out myself, and I figured that out in middle school, while other
Good.
students around me, my other friend groups, didn't figure that out for themselves. So that was one thing. That's one thing I am good at, is saying I'm not gonna pick and choose who I want to be friends with, and if you can't accept that, then you're gonna just have to. I guess we can't be friends,
Right.
or we can talk it out, or you and my other friend can talk it out, and you guys can make amends and be okay with it. Because I feel like a real friend, they wouldn't make you pick or choose over somebody.
Exactly. Kudos to you. I'm proud that you found that out at an early age because there's still a lot of adults that don't understand that. So I appreciate you for that. That's awesome. All right, so I have this question for you. Have you ever thought, if I change my mindset, that I can change the world?
Um, no, not really. A little bit sometimes, but not really.
Yeah,
Because I know that to change the world, it takes more than one person.
of
But
course.
I know that bringing a positive mindset can impact the change.
Most
It won't
definitely.
change it all the way, but it can make a big impact. A
Of
big, big.
course. Because we are all connected. So if we all have that mental capacity that we're on a
Mm-hmm.
positive nature, and there's multiple of us in that positive nature, it most definitely can create a ripple effect and change the world. So
Yes.
that's what we get with that. So yes, if we change our mindset, we most definitely can change the world, because when you change your mindset and you're positive, and then you go past somebody that's disgruntled or having a bad day, and you could possibly just smile at them, and that smile that you gave them could have lightened their day up, because there's no telling what they've been through or who made them angry, and just that one person smiling at them, acknowledging them, and being nice to them truly helped their day, and your light shined on them to help their light shine. So yes,
Yes.
we most definitely can change the world by changing our mindsets. Awesome. Okay, so give me two words that are your most favorite words in the whole wide world, and your definition for those words.
Okay, so do you want me to tell you both the words off the back or like one at a time?
One at a time. Give me the word and your definition.
Okay, teacher.
Okay.
A teacher is an adult that takes the time out to teach, nourish, and build a relationship with students to help them later on in life.
Okay. And what's your next one?
Kindness.
Okay.
My definition for kindness is someone or something, not something, I'm sorry, someone that can see a problem and react in a kind manner, and that is ultimately just a kind person and do things because of others and not because of what they will get out of it.
Awesome. I like those words. You really, I can't wait to see you in your teacher's hat. That's gonna be something wonderful for some babies out there. I truly appreciate. I believe in you, Macy.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. So we're going to get into our mental health check-in questions. You ready for those?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So question one: how are you feeling today?
Today I felt nervous
Okay.
and excited for new beginnings.
Awesome sauce. And I appreciate you and thank you so much for being on. This was wonderful. And to my loved ones out there, thank you so much for tuning in. And we are a community journal of life where everyone's story is meaningful. And if no one has told you today, I love you. You are amazing. You are beautiful. You are handsome. And you always do whatever it is that you aspire to do. Don't let anyone tell you different. And remember, we don't beg, we don't chase, we embrace with grace. And always remember to affirm your peace. We out.